So right now, there's a lot of noise going on in the north, and it's all about leadership, power, and security. People are talking, elders are speaking, and citizens are watching closely. The talk is about Hausa elders rejecting the Sultan's leadership role in a national council plan, and at the same time demanding that President Tinubu move fast to deal with the bandits that have been disturbing innocent people across northern Nigeria. This whole story is serious, but also interesting because it touches culture, tradition, politics, and the pain that many families are feeling because of insecurity. Now, before we even go deep, please, if you're listening right now, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. It supports our work, and it helps us bring you these real gists as they happen. So here's what's really going on. In recent weeks, some Hausa elders came together and raised their voices, saying they don't support the idea of making the Sultan of Sokoto the permanent head or co-chair of the National Council of Traditional Rulers. They said, look, the North has many ethnic groups and kingdoms. You can't just say one person will represent everybody forever. That, they said, is not balance, and it's not fair to the rest of the Hausa people and other traditional rulers. These arguments started when some lawmakers and political figures were discussing a new system that would give both the Sultan of Sokoto and the Uni of Ife a permanent seat as the national heads of all traditional rulers in Nigeria.
It sounded good to some people because they saw it as a way to unite the country's two oldest royal institutions, one from the north, one from the south. But the problem started when Hausa elders asked, wait, are we saying only the Sultan speaks for the whole north? What about other great rulers? The Emir of Kano, the Emir of Zazao, the Shehu of Bono, and others. That's where tension started rising. The Hausa elders felt like the move could make it seem as if the Sultan is the only powerful voice in the north, when in truth, many northern communities have their own history and leadership structures. They believe the Sultan's role is mainly religious. He is a respected Muslim leader, but not necessarily a representative for every Hausa or northern person. And at the same time, these same elders shifted the conversation.
They said, okay, let's talk about the real problem hurting our people, insecurity. They called on President Bola Tinubu, saying he needs to face this issue of banditry immediately. And when they say immediately, they mean now. Not next month, not next year. Because people are tired. Villages are being attacked. Farmers can't go to their farms. Schools have been closed, and many families have lost loved ones to these criminals. Now, if you're still watching, please, I need you to like this video right now. Let's keep this platform growing so we can keep exposing stories like this. So, what's happening with these bandits? These are not small-time criminals anymore. They move around in groups, armed with dangerous weapons, and they've been attacking communities in states like Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, Sokoto, and Niger. Sometimes they kidnap people, sometimes they raid markets, and sometimes they attack religious gatherings. There was even that painful case where they entered a mosque during prayers. Imagine that. People were just praying peacefully and suddenly chaos started. Lives were lost, and families are still crying till today. That's why these elders are angry. They said, how can we be debating leadership positions when people are dying every day? They wanted Tinubu to take bold steps, not just meetings and promises. They want visible results. They want these bandits to be captured, communities to be secured, and people to live without fear again. Now, to be fair, the government has been talking. Tinubu has said many times that his administration will not tolerate terrorism or banditry. He told the service chiefs to go after them seriously. But you know Nigerians, people want action, not just words. They want to see real peace returning to their villages. And the whole issue of the Sultan's position, that one is a delicate matter. Because if it's not handled with wisdom, it can create divisions in the north. Some people already started saying this is a Hausa versus Fulani matter, but that's a dangerous way to see it. The truth is, Hausa and Fulani people have lived together for generations, intermarried, shared culture, and even mixed languages. So this issue is not about tribe, it's about fairness and representation. If you're watching right now, tell me in the comment section, do you agree that leadership among traditional rulers should rotate? Or do you think having permanent figures like the Sultan and Uni helps with stability? Let's talk about it. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, some analysts are saying the elders have a point. In a country as big and diverse as Nigeria, no single person should represent a whole region forever. But others say, wait, the Sultan is not a political appointee. His position is symbolic and it carries historical weight. So maybe that leadership seat is just a recognition of his status, not a way to reduce others. You see how this debate can go both ways? But the main heat of this gist is the timing. Why now? Why are people debating titles when the region is still battling insecurity? That's why the elders came out with strong words. They said, before we talk about titles, let's first stop these bandits. They even urged Tinubu to visit the affected areas himself, to see how people are suffering and to make quick decisions that bring real change. Let me remind you again, if you're enjoying this breakdown, please like this video right now and subscribe. It really helps me to continue giving you these updates. Now let's go back a bit. Banditry in northern Nigeria started small years ago as local disputes between herders and farmers, but over time it grew into something bigger and darker. Groups started forming camps in forests, collecting ransoms, attacking convoys, and even challenging the army. It became a mix of crime, poverty, and failed governance. And now, it's one of the biggest security problems in the whole country. These Hausa elders are saying the time for talk is over. They want strong action, intelligence operations, community protection, and maybe even traditional leaders getting involved in peace talks. Because one thing people often forget is that traditional rulers know their communities better than anyone else. If they're empowered to work with security forces, they can help identify where bandits hide, who supports them, and how to stop the violence before it spreads. So, while they're rejecting the Sultan's exclusive role, they're also asking for more unity among northern leaders to fight insecurity. They're not saying the Sultan is the enemy. They're saying the system must be fair and attention should be on saving lives, not titles. Please, if you're watching till this point, thank you so much. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Your engagement keeps this platform alive. Now,
Something interesting is happening. This whole situation is slowly pulling politics and tradition together. Because remember, in Nigeria, traditional rulers don't hold political power officially, but they have huge influence. When elders disagree, it can quietly affect how communities vote, how they trust leaders, and how they react to national policies. That's why Tinubu has to play this issue carefully. If he's seen as favoring one side, he could lose support from others. But if he balances it wisely, he could come out stronger as a unifying figure. And you know, Nigerians love leadership stories. Anytime you hear Sultan, Uni, Emir, it gets people talking. These are big titles that carry pride and respect. So when there's even a small disagreement, it becomes a national gist immediately. Right now,
many young people in the north are saying they don't care who chairs the council. What they care about is safety, jobs, and education. They want to live freely, travel without fear, and have peace of mind. And that's the truth. Most Nigerians just want peace.